Welcome back to Money Mastery Now, the channel that helps you take control of your money, one smart habit at a time. If you want to master your budget, crush debt, and build lasting wealth, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Ever feel like you are working harder, spending more, but somehow enjoying life less? You are not alone. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to buy more. More stuff, more upgrades, more everything. But what if the real solution was the opposite? Minimalism is not a trend. It is not about living with nothing. It is a response to the stress of overconsumption. It is about owning less, spending with intention, and making room for what truly matters. A few years ago, I made a shift. I stopped focusing on having more. Instead, I started focusing on living with clarity. That decision saved me thousands of dollars and gave me back something even more valuable: peace of mind. In this video, I am going to share 10 minimalist rules that help me stop overspending, simplify my life, and save thousands without ever feeling deprived. These rules are not about sacrifice. They are about freedom. Freedom from clutter, freedom from debt, freedom to use your money to build a life that feels like your own. If you are ready to take control of your spending, cut out the noise, and finally feel in charge of your financial life, this video is for you. Let's dive in. Rule number 1 is simple, but it changed everything for me. If it doesn't add joy or function, let it go. Ask yourself, does this item improve my daily life? Or does it just take up space? That question helped me see my stuff in a completely new way. I started with clothes. There were shirts I hadn't worn in over a year, shoes that never fit quite right, coats I was saving just in case. But that case never came. Then I looked at my electronics. Old phones, cables I couldn't match, gadgets I bought because they looked useful, but never actually used. I moved on to decor, wall art that meant nothing to me, gift items I kept out of guilt, things I displayed just to fill space. And suddenly, I realized none of it made me feel better. None of it served a real purpose. It was just visual noise, physical clutter, and emotional weight. So I started letting go. I donated what still had value. I sold what I could, and I threw away what was broken or irrelevant. My home felt lighter. My mind felt clearer. And I stopped spending money on things that didn't matter. Letting go helped me save thousands. Not just by clearing out my space, but by changing the way I shop. Now, every time I want to buy something, I ask that same question again. Will this item bring me joy? Or will it serve a clear function? If the answer is no, I walk away. You don't need to live in an empty room. But when you only keep what adds value, you spend less, you stress less, and you enjoy more. Coming up next, we will talk about why owning fewer things, but better ones, is one of the smartest financial choices you can make. Rule number 2 is this: own less, but choose better. Most of us grow up believing that more is better. More clothes, more tech, more stuff means more success. But minimalism flips that completely. Instead of owning 5 cheap versions of something, own one high-quality version that lasts. I used to buy clothes on sale cheap, fast fashion. They looked good for a few months, then fell apart in the wash. Now, I buy fewer items, but I invest in better fabrics, timeless styles, and quality that holds up. It is the same with kitchen tools, furniture, and even electronics. When you choose better, you buy less often, you take care of your things, and you stop the cycle of constantly replacing what breaks. Yes, sometimes it costs more upfront, but in the long run, it saves you money and a lot of frustration. Think about how many cheap phone chargers you have replaced, how many pairs of uncomfortable shoes you bought and never wore, how many kitchen gadgets sit unused in a drawer. Minimalism taught me that value is not about price. It is about usefulness over time. Now, before I buy anything, I ask, is this made to last? Will I still use it a year from now? Does it do its job well? If the answer is yes, I go for it. If not, I wait. Fewer items, better quality, longer lifespan. That's the formula that saved me hundreds, sometimes thousands over time. In the next section, I'll share the rule that helped me stop impulse spending for good, a simple 30-hour delay before every purchase. Rule number 3 is simple, but it is one of the most powerful tools I have ever used. Delay every purchase by 30 hours. We live in a world of instant shopping. See it, click it, buy it, and it shows up at your door the next day. But that speed comes at a cost. Impulse spending adds up fast. I used to scroll through shopping apps at night, add things to my cart that looked useful or fun, then wake up the next day with buyer's regret. So I made one change. I created a rule for myself. Wait 30 hours before buying anything that isn't essential. That means no checkout on impulse, no late-night clicking, no just-in-case purchases. Instead, I save the item to a list. I walk away, and I let time do its job. If I still want it after 30 hours, and it fits my budget, I go back and buy it intentionally. But most of the time, I forget about it, or I realize I didn't really need it in the first place. This one habit helped me avoid dozens of unnecessary purchases, and over time, it saved me hundreds of dollars every single month. It also gave me something more important than money. It gave me control. It gave me clarity. And it taught me the difference between want now and need long-term. Impulse spending is emotional. Delaying lets your logic catch up. You do not have to deny yourself. You just have to pause. So next time you feel the urge to buy something right away, try this rule. Wait 30 hours, then decide. Coming up, we will talk about a habit that helps control clutter while keeping your spending in check. The one in, one out rule. Rule number 4 is a minimalist classic. One in, one out. It is exactly what it sounds like. Every time you bring something new into your home, you let go of something else. Buy a new shirt. Donate an old one. Get a new mug. Remove one from your cabinet. This rule keeps clutter from building up. It forces you to be intentional with every purchase, and it makes you think twice before buying something just in case or because it was on sale. When you know that bringing in one item means parting with another, you slow down. You choose better. You value what you already have. It also trains your brain to break the habit of accumulation. You stop buying for the thrill, and you start buying with purpose. I use this rule in every area of my life. Closet, kitchen, office, storage, and the result was powerful. I had less stuff, but more space, less stress, more freedom. And the best part, I spent less. Because I no longer bought things just to fill a gap or chase a deal. Try it. One in, one out. It is simple. It is practical. And it is one of the easiest ways to live lighter both physically and financially. Up next, we will look at how subscriptions can silently drain your budget, and why minimalist thinking helps you only pay for what you truly use. Rule number 5 is one of the biggest money savers. Limit subscriptions to what you actually use. Subscriptions are sneaky. They seem small. $10 here, $12 there. But they add up fast. Streaming services, cloud storage, fitness apps, news sites, digital tools. And the worst part, many of them renew automatically, so you keep paying without even noticing. At one point, I had over 10 active subscriptions, but I was only using 3 of them regularly. The rest were just taking money out of my account, month after month. That's when I set a new rule. If I don't use it at least twice a month, I cancel it. Simple as that. I made a list, went through my bank and credit card statements, found every recurring charge, and asked one question: is this still worth paying for? If the answer was no, I let it go. I canceled old streaming accounts. I downgraded apps I barely used. I switched to free versions where I could. In total, I save between $100 to $300 every single month just by cutting out things I wasn't even using. That is over $1,000 a year back in my pocket. Minimalism is not just about owning less stuff. It is about owning fewer financial commitments too. So do a subscription audit. Be honest. Keep only what adds real value to your life. Let go of the rest. Coming up, we will shift from digital to daily life. And I'll show you how minimalist meal planning saved me time, stress, and serious money. Rule number 6 is about the kitchen. Meal plan with a minimal pantry. Minimalism in food doesn't mean boring meals. It doesn't mean eating the same thing every day or cutting back on nutrition. It means cutting back on waste. It means being intentional with what you buy, what you cook, and what you actually eat. Most of us have pantries filled with half-used boxes, expired sauces, and frozen items we forgot we bought. That's grocery creep. It happens when we buy more than we need, because we don't have a plan. I used to go to the store without a list, grab what looked good, buy just in case, then throw out spoiled produce a week later. Now, I follow one simple rule. Plan my meals before I shop. Shop only for what I plan to cook. And keep my pantry clean and simple. I stick to a handful of core ingredients I use every week. Rice, eggs, vegetables, a few proteins, basic spices. That doesn't limit me. It frees me. I waste less food. I spend less money. And cooking becomes easier, faster, and less stressful. Minimalist meal planning saved me hundreds each month. Not just in groceries, but in fewer takeout orders and fewer emergency snack runs. If you want to save money, reduce food waste, and make your life easier in the kitchen, this rule is a game changer. Next, we will look at a habit that resets your spending mindset and helps you spend $0 on purpose. Rule number 7 is one of the most eye-opening no-spend challenge days. Here is how it works. Pick a day, a week, or even a whole month, and commit to not spending any money on anything that is not absolutely essential. That means no coffee runs, no online shopping, no takeout, no random Amazon scrolls, just the basics: rent, food you already have, gas if needed, and bills that are due. It sounds simple, but it is powerful. The first time I tried a no-spend weekend, I realized how often I bought out of habit, not because I needed something, but because I was bored, stressed, or looking for a quick mood boost. This challenge revealed my patterns. How many of my purchases were emotional, automatic, or just plain unnecessary? It also helped me pause, to sit with discomfort instead of solving it with spending, and to find joy in what I already had. Over time, I started doing no-spend weeks. Once, I even did a full no-spend month and saved over $700. But the money was only part of the benefit. The real reward was self-awareness, the feeling of being in control, the ability to say no without feeling like I was missing out. You don't have to do it perfectly, and you don't have to do it all the time. Just try it. Start with one day a week. Pick a Saturday. Make coffee at home. Cook with what is in your fridge. Find free ways to relax or have fun. You might be surprised by how good it feels and how much it saves. Next, we will talk about how digital clutter fuels spending habits and how to simplify your tech life to save even more. Rule number 8 is one most people overlook. Digital minimalism saves money too. We often think of minimalism as physical, clearing clutter from our homes, our closets, our shelves. But what about your screen? Your inbox is full of promo emails. Your phone is loaded with shopping apps. Your social media feed is packed with ads. And all of that is designed to make you spend not just money, but attention, time, and mental space. I used to scroll through shopping apps without thinking, not because I needed something, but because the app was there. It was a habit, and habits cost money. So I made a change. I deleted every shopping app from my phone. Amazon, Target, Etsy, gone. I unsubscribed from promotional emails. No more flash sale panic. No more just for you offers. I also limited my time on social media, especially platforms that made me want things I didn't even know I wanted. And I turned off notifications for anything that encouraged me to spend. The result, I stopped thinking about buying things all the time, and without that constant stimulation, I spent less naturally. No effort, just fewer temptations. Digital minimalism works like passive saving. When your environment is quieter, your wallet stays fuller. So clean up your digital space. Treat your phone like your home. Only keep what serves you, and remove what drains you. Coming up next, I'll share one of the most powerful mindset shifts minimalism taught me: valuing time over things. Rule number 9 is a mindset shift. Value time over things. This rule changed how I see every dollar I spend. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" I started asking, "How many hours of my life does this cost me?" Let's say you make $20 an hour. If something costs $100, that is 5 hours of work before taxes. Now imagine trading 5 hours of your time for a new gadget, a pair of shoes, or a random shopping spree. Is it worth it? Sometimes the answer is yes, but many times you realize it is not. This one shift helped me walk away from so many impulse buys because I wasn't spending money. I was spending time, my time, and time is the one thing we can never get back. Minimalism taught me to protect my time the way I used to protect my money. Now, I invest in experiences over objects. I choose simple over flashy. I spend on what matters, not on what is trending. Because at the end of the day, it is not about what you own. It is about how you feel, how you live, and how much freedom you have. So before your next purchase, ask yourself, is this worth the hours of my life it will cost me? That one question can save you more than just money. It can help you reclaim your priorities. In our final section, we'll wrap everything up, and I'll share how these rules work together to build a life that feels lighter, freer, and more focused. Rule number 10 is about mindset. Track your savings like you track your spending. Most people only track where their money goes. They budget, they log expenses, they watch every dollar leave their account. But here is the problem. That can feel discouraging. It focuses on what you're losing, never on what you're keeping. Minimalism taught me to flip the script. I started tracking what I didn't spend. When I walked away from a $40 impulse buy, I wrote down saved $40. When I canceled a subscription, I added the monthly savings to my tracker. When I used what I had instead of buying new, I celebrated it. And over time, I built something powerful, a record of wins. This isn't about being perfect. It's about building a mindset of progress. Every time you say no to clutter, you are saying yes to clarity. Every time you skip a purchase, you're moving closer to freedom. Tracking savings turns self-control into motivation. It turns small decisions into momentum, and it proves to yourself that you can change. So don't just log what you spend. Log what you save. Watch that number grow. Feel the shift in how you think about money, and let it push you forward one small decision at a time. Up next, we'll wrap it all up with a final message on why minimalist living isn't about having less. It's about finally having enough. Let's wrap this up. Minimalism isn't about living with less. It's about living with intention. It's not about counting how many items you own or living in an empty space. It's about making choices that support the life you actually want. These 10 rules didn't just help me spend less. They helped me spend better. They helped me stop buying things I didn't need and start buying back something far more valuable: my peace of mind, my time, my freedom. Minimalism taught me that money is not just for buying stuff. It's a tool for building clarity, freedom, and space to breathe. You don't have to follow every rule perfectly. You don't need to change your whole life overnight. You just need to start small. One habit, one decision, one shift in mindset. And over time, It adds up. So here's your next step. Pick one rule from this video, just one. Apply it this week. Track what changes. Notice how it feels. Because minimalist living isn't just a trend. It's a path to something deeper, a simpler, richer life. If this video inspired you to rethink how you spend and live, hit subscribe and share it with someone who's ready to do the same. Thanks for being here. And remember, you don't need more to live more. You just need less, with purpose.